8 minutes of WWE breaking their own rules. Let's watch.
Similar to any regular workplace, WWE has a set of rules and regulations that apply to all its employees. But like many organizations, there are moments when the company is willing to be a bit flexible with these rules. Join us today as we look at times WWE broke their own rules. Number 11, bringing back banned moves. In 2024, Kevin Owens shocked the WWE Universe by bringing back the banned pile driver, not once, but twice. First, he hit Randy Orton with the devastating move, and then he delivered it again to Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event. The pile driver has been outlawed in WWE for years due to its dangerous history of causing serious neck and spine injuries. Seeing it return was as shocking as it was controversial, leaving fans wondering how Owens got away with it. Number 10, the Outlaw Rule. The Outlaw Rule is like a wrestling law that says tag team partners can't pin each other in matches involving multiple teams. It got its name after the New Age Outlaws used this sneaky move to win a tag team championship match. But on that exciting night of September 5, 2022, during an episode of Raw, WWE decided to break the rule. The referee went ahead and counted the pin when Kofi Kingston tried to pin his buddy Xavier Woods in a four-way tag team match. WWE didn't bother to explain why they bent the rules, but the referee's quick pin count makes us think it was all part of the plan. Number 9, no blood policy. Back in 2008, WWE made a significant decision to ban wrestlers from intentionally cutting themselves to bleed during matches. This decision was prompted by an incident involving Shawn Michaels, which got a bit out of control. It happened around the same time WWE was transitioning to a more family-friendly PG rating. After this rule was put in place, there were still some accidental cases of wrestlers bleeding during matches, but these were not intentional. However, there was a surprising moment at SummerSlam in 2016 when Brock Lesnar busted open Randy Orton's forehead with some pretty hard elbow shots. Fans later found out that this was actually a planned part of the match.
Right.
So it seems WWE relaxed their no blood policy for that particular event. Number 8, not mentioning rival companies. Back in the intense era of the Monday Night Wars, both WWE and WCW would occasionally acknowledge each other during their shows. However, things took a different turn after WWE bought out WCW. WWE decided to play the silent game and avoided any mention of their competition on their broadcasts, even though their rivals didn't hesitate to take shots at them. This unspoken rule became a part of the wrestling culture, with both the wrestlers and the broadcast team steering clear of mentioning other wrestling promotions like Impact or NJPW during WWE shows. However, there were a couple of moments when WWE allowed this rule to be bent, like when Sami Zayn talked about AEW on Raw, or when Triple H playfully poked fun at them during DX's Hall of Fame induction. It added an interesting twist to the usual silence about the competition. Number 7, the Wildcard Rule. WWE's decision to have a brand split boils down to giving each of their main shows a unique set of wrestlers. At first, they had a strict rule. Raw superstars stayed on Raw, and SmackDown superstars stayed on SmackDown. They even had special events just for each brand. But in 2019, WWE threw a curveball with the Wildcard Rule. This rule allowed a few wrestlers to hop between shows in a week. Fans and wrestling experts didn't like this change because it went against the whole point of the brand split, and it left them scratching their heads. Number 6, endorsing outside brands.
What made them do that?
When wrestlers ink their contracts with WWE, the company lays down a strict rule. They can't endorse any brands other than the ones WWE officially supports. This rule remained intact for a long time, meaning wrestlers couldn't have their own separate brand deals while working for WWE. But WWE made a special allowance when Brock Lesnar returned to the company in 2012. The Beast Incarnate, as he's known, sported his own sponsor logos on his trunks during his match against John Cena at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. It was a departure from the norm, allowing Lesnar to showcase his personal sponsors in a WWE event. Number 5, banned words. During Vince McMahon's tenure as the decision-maker for WWE's creative direction, he implemented some rather unusual restrictions on certain terms like belt, briefcase, hospital, heel, face, and even the words wrestler and professional wrestling. WWE superstars and the commentary team adhered to these bans, refraining from using these words during broadcasts throughout Vince McMahon's leadership in the company. However, it appears that, to a certain extent, Triple H has relaxed these restrictions since taking full control of the creative process earlier this year. Following Triple H's promotion, we've witnessed WWE superstars and commentators freely using of banned words on shows. Number 4, the Last Man Standing Rule. At the 2021 Royal Rumble PPV, Roman Reigns had a tough title defense, facing Kevin Owens in a Last Man Standing match. This type of match meant that the referee had to count when a wrestler was down, and if strictly enforced, Kevin Owens would have walked away with the Universal Championship. In a critical moment of the match, Owens used handcuffs to attach Reigns to a lighting trellis, leaving Reigns unable to get up. Jey Uso got involved, and Paul Heyman was tasked with unlocking the handcuffs. But Heyman had some trouble with the cuffs, and the referee was getting close to the 10 count. Realizing the predicament, the referee decided to pause the count, deviating from the match's stipulation. The referee waited until Heyman finally released Reigns from the handcuffs. This decision clearly went against the established rules of the match. Number 3, American villains. A long-standing, unwritten rule in WWE has been to avoid portraying American characters as villains who engage in negative actions while proclaiming loyalty to the United States. Even when Sergeant Slaughter turned heel in 1990, the storyline framed it as a rejection of the country due to its association with the Russian wrestler Nikolai Volkov. Although fans have frequently witnessed storylines involving foreign heels opposing American heroes, WWE broke from this unspoken tradition when Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter rebranded themselves as Real Americans and transformed into heel characters by portraying xenophobic villains. Number 2, 30-day defense clause. In WWE, there's a clear rule that all champions, whether they hold the top titles or mid-card belts, should defend their championships at least once every 30 days. This rule used to be strictly followed in the past, but there have been times when it was blatantly ignored. For instance, during Brock Lesnar's second run as world champion, the idea of regular title defenses seemed to be thrown out the window. The same can be said for Roman Reigns during his reign as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. This rule violation was particularly noticeable with the top titles, but it's also been happening with mid-card champions who rarely put their titles on the line. Number 1, wellness policy. WWE has always emphasized its unwavering commitment to a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to wrestlers breaking their wellness rules. They've suspended even top-tier stars like Roman Reigns in the past. However, there have been moments when WWE seemed to look the other way, when certain superstars violated these rules. A prime example is Brock Lesnar, who failed a drug test after his UFC 200 fight against Mark Hunt. Surprisingly, WWE didn't take any action against Lesnar because, at the time, he was considered a part-time wrestler and didn't fall under the same rule framework. And there you have it. Times
Wow.
WWE completely broke their own rules and left fans stunned.
Okay, so going back to, because the other day I did the video wrestlers that Randy Orton hated working with, and then it got to a part where it was a match between Randy and Brock Lesnar, and Brock had busted his head open, and it was very, very bloody, and then it was mentioned in that video that that Randy never spoke about it, and I think he said Brock too, but throughout that whole video, Randy was very, very vocal about a lot of things, except for that one thing. So I'm wondering, because what he just said in this video, after that incident, the whole blood thing, like the rules or whatever, they changed it or whatever. They pretty much kind of made it like no blood or less blood being exposed. I wonder if because of that, or part of it, I wonder if that's why Randy never spoke on it. They probably told him, the WWE probably told him, like under a contract or whatever, that he can't speak about it, maybe. Because I was thinking maybe it was out of embarrassment because, because of that, they both planned it. Randy and Brock, they both planned that. So it was like maybe they felt bad because of that. Some things changed after, you know what I'm saying, that caused the change of the rule about blood and stuff like that. Or they probably just told him like, y'all can't speak on it because of this change. I don't know. That is crazy. But I didn't know that's why the whole blood thing, why they kind of made it like a little bit like more PG or whatever. Damn, that sucks. Wow, I just learned something new. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this reaction, guys. Make sure to leave some likes and comments down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see y'all in the next one. Toodles.